We began this effort to create a memorial here back about 6.5 years ago, actually. We realized that the memorial we had at 12 Corners Park really went the way of the weather years ago. And the fact of the matter is that we had lost 3 of our best and brightest young men in the war in Iraq and Afghanistan. And we thought it would be the right time to really begin thinking about creating a new memorial. The design that you see here is something that came from the thoughts and minds and hearts of the residents of Brighton.
My family has had a proud history of participation in the military since the Revolution onward. So when this opportunity came up, I jumped at the chance to be a part of my adopted hometown's memorial.
I couldn't be more pleased with what's gone on here at the memorial. We've been at this for a little over 6 years, and we needed something to honor those men and women who had served in all the services.
This is something that veterans can be proud of. And I, as a veteran, am so pleased the way this turned out.
Well, we had a number of people when we started, and several of them were veterans, especially of World War II, and one of the sad things was that we lost a number of our members who passed away during that time. Chuck Perica and Herb Ross were there at the beginning, and Dave Bush and Mitch Cady was there from the start and developed some wonderful words to use with the memorial. And so we had a group that consistently stayed, and then other people came along and added their concepts to the thing, and it really worked well as a community venture.
One of the great joys I had being on this committee was getting the culmination of all the different input from all the members and kind of putting pencil to paper and putting ideas and contemplating what those ideas were and kind of putting it down into a true design.
We were looking for men and women who are willing to, residents who are willing to come and help us formulate an idea as to what kind of a memorial we should have.
I know one of the things that we were challenged with is going around to different communities, seeing what their memorials looked like, and it was kind of the bricks and mortar effect that you saw. And I know that one of the things that we wanted to create was something extraordinary.
I checked the American Legion headquarters and VFW headquarters to see if there was any type of memorial like this. And as far as I can tell, this is the only one in the United States of this nature.
In this case, the men and women of this committee said, let's make it natural, contemplative.
I think one of the things that was kind of exciting is the fact that hearing all the different ideas from the committee members and trying to come up with what we felt was contemplative as a garden, as a space, and then trying to wrap our arms around how do we create that. And we created it by putting this memorial in an area which is pastoral in its setting. We can come to this space, be able to sit down and look at the memorial, enjoy the memorial, and have a very contemplative space.
And in order to make it natural, what you see behind me here is the boulders that came out of the quarry right here in this area of New York State. These came right from the Penfield quarry, and they are limestone, which is a natural stone for this area of upstate New York. And the eagle on top of the memorial was the creation of Mary Taylor. Mary is so skilled at the creation of these things. She did this with fine welding of stainless steel rods to create this eagle behind me. It is very significant because it is a symbol of our country, the American bald eagle. The other thought that came to mind with the committee was, let's make sure that this is not viewed as a war memorial or a peace memorial. It's a memorial to the men and women who have served in the armed forces of the United States.
They usually have tanks and guns and things like that, or they have brick walls and all that type of stuff.
The memorial and the fact that it's a peaceful place is important to me. I don't like to think of the other aspects of war.
So that's why you see nothing in the way of military equipment here. This is strictly a memorial on behalf of the men and women who have served our country. The discussion that we went through as part of the committee's effort was where would be the appropriate setting to have a memorial such as this.
We drove around the town and found this spot as the one that unanimously was the one that we all wanted to use. There's a lot of nice places in the town of Brighton, but this has the parking and the ease for people to get here, and people that can pass through the recreational area and come in and visit the memorial and have a place to sit and contemplate what it really means to the community.
It is all part of a trail system that's running through Buckland Park that will lead people to come down the trail and come right through the memorial here on their walks or jogging or whatever. It's just off of Westfall Road, and it is really going to become part of a larger trail system right through Buckland Park here. Now, we just completed phase 2.
The curbings that went in just last week or so have dressed it up so much, and it really looks like a finished memorial now, and I'm so pleased with it. It's just delightful.
But we still have a final phase to go with more of the trees that we need to be planting here, and a lot more of the flowers that are part of the design that the committee came up with.
I think one of the greatest challenges we had, and I think that we overcome it very well, was because this was a grassroots-based movement, the fundraising, and the ability to get people to buy into what it is we wanted to create here. But with the work of all the committee members and Jim Vogel, we were able to get in-kind services and donations of great magnitude so that we could put this together.
One of the great things about this is that it was a community effort. The committee, led by Jim, went around and talked to different people and donated many things to the committee, some of them in dollars, some of them in-kind donations, and it's been just a wonderful thing.
I want to thank all the people who supported us and contributed money, because this didn't come out of thin air. It had to have support, and we got wonderful support from the people of Brighton and companies here.
We're still looking for financial support from the individual contributors in the community, businesses as well as residents of Brighton, as we move forward and finalize the last phase of this whole effort to create this memorial. I think this memorial is a fitting statement on behalf of the residents of Brighton of how they feel about the men and women who have served our country in such a fine fashion. The patriotism of this community, to my mind, is one of the chief motivators that really kept us going to help to create this memorial for the men and women who have served in our armed forces.
What we see here today is fantastic. I don't think there's another memorial like it anywhere. And every time I drive by it and come into the space, I'm wowed by it. It came into full fruition.
So this is, I would say, possibly a unique memorial for the military in the United States.
People on the committee had a vision, and it's been delivered in a magnificent way here, so it's wonderful to be part of.
Well, I'm incredibly proud of what we've done, and I think I can say we, meaning all of the people in the committee and the members of the town and the local people have supported us in so many different ways.
I think everybody that was on the committee felt the same, that they had a good time, worked well together, and created something of meaning that'll be here for decades, if not centuries.
Well, I would encourage any and all of our residents of Brighton to bring their families in here and take a look at this and see it for yourself, and take note of the fact that the three things that the committee said we wanted to make sure symbolizes what we created is it's natural, contemplative, and reverent. And I think you will find it that way when you come out here to see it for yourself.